Did a black hole hit Siberia, or was it something else? The most startling theory about the devastation of Siberia is that it was caused by a damaged flying saucer from outer space, disintegrating in a nuclear explosion. The theory's been put forward recently by an Australian journalist, John Baxter, and an American scholar, Thomas Atkins, who followed up the work of a Russian expert, including engineer Alexander Kazasev and Professor Felix Segel. They claim that there is considerable evidence to support the theory of a nuclear blast. Secondly, the pattern of destruction in the shattered forest is more consistent with the shock wave produced by an atomic bomb rather than those of conventional explosions. Other clues were the extreme intensity of light at that time, and the later discovery of numerous tiny green globules of melted dust called trionites, which are characteristic of an atomic blast. According to a Russian expert on the area, Professor Alex Zolotov, the globules also contained metallic fragments of elements which are not found naturally in that area, and which are not part of the usual makeup of meteorites either. Baxter and Atkins believe that this metal could have come from a spaceship's hull, or maybe a fuel tank of a spaceship. Finally, the two men point out that mutations in the area after the explosion were similar to those of Hiroshima in Japan after the atomic bomb was dropped there in 1945. Baxter and Atkins draw on the eyewitness evidence of people in the Tongass region at the time to complete their theory. Many of them describe a large bluish object, cylindrical in shape, hurling across the sky with a multicolored vapor trail in its wake. The noise of the object could be heard while it was in sight, according to their evidence, and this, they calculate, suggests that it was traveling at around twice the speed of sound, or about 1,500 miles per hour. From all the evidence, Baxter and Atkins built up their theory, and they published a book called The Fire Came By. They published it in 1976. On June 30th, 1908, an extraterrestrial flying object dived toward the Earth from space to attempt a landing. Because of some accident that happened on board, its situation was critical. Having succeeded in entering our atmosphere, it flew in a wide arc and began its maneuvers for touchdown, but it was too late. 2 miles above Siberia, the atomic fuel which powered it became heated to a point above the critical threshold and set off a nuclear explosion of about 30 megatons of TNT. This turned 25 miles of the Earth's surface to molten rock and burned people as far as 400 miles away from the center of that explosion. So the question is, what sort of people were in that crippled spaceship? And where could they have come from? What could they have looked like? There are many other mysteries lost in the debris of the Tongass. We may never know. We do know that this is fact and actually did happen. It's documented. So the next question is, could this happen again? Well, like, subscribe, be a genius. Think and research for yourself. This is a Logic channel.